Hey everyone, it's Izzy, and today we are going to be making cake pops. This is actually a remake of the first video I did 8 years ago, and it's been a while since I've made some videos, I think 4 years. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial on making cake pops. So to make cake pops, you actually need a full baked cake, and I'm just using the one that comes in the store. It requires very simple ingredients, it doesn't take very long at all. You can make it homemade, you can use any kind of cake you want, you can use red velvet, you can use chocolate cake, whatever you want, but that's the first step. So for this specific cake, you just need a cup of water, a 3/4 cup of vegetable oil, and 3 eggs. So once the cake is done, you want to make sure it's all cold and not warm at all, and then you're going to cut it up and you're going to start mixing them into crumbs. You want the crumbs to be very fine, you don't want any big pieces, and that's what's going to be mixed with the frosting. And you'll see later that when you mix it with the frosting, it'll become kind of like a doughy consistency, and it'll be really easy to mold into balls. And we actually tried using a grater, and that didn't really work out very well. I found that just using your hands works the best. It gets pretty messy. You can use a blender if you want. I guess that would work too, but I just chose to use my hands. Okay, so here is me adding the frosting. You really only need 3/4 of the container of frosting. You don't want to add too much, so I suggest adding a little bit at a time. And yeah, you just start mixing it up. You can use your hands, you can use a whisk, but that didn't really work out. And when you're done, you'll be able to start rolling them into balls. And that's how you know you're probably done adding frosting, because the crumbs will start to stick together. So when I'm rolling the cake pops into balls, I like to keep them on the smaller side, because when I dip them in chocolate, the coating actually makes them a little bit bigger, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, it doesn't need to be perfect or anything like that, but just roll them in probably around 1-inch diameter. So now we are adding the popsicle sticks, and I like to dip the tip of the stick in chocolate first and then sticking it in the cake pop, because the chocolate kind of acts like glue, and so the cake pop will be less likely to fall off when we're dipping them. When you are done adding the sticks, you're going to want to put the cake pops in the freezer for around 30 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to start dipping the cake pops in melted chocolate. It's pretty straightforward. Here I'm just dipping the cake pop, and I'm using the spoon to help me coat all parts of it. So when you are done dipping it, you're going to want to tap off the excess chocolate, or else it becomes kind of clunky, and you really don't need that much chocolate on the cake pop. Make sure to add the sprinkles when the chocolate is still warm, or else the sprinkles won't stick to the cake pop. And since we froze the cake pops, the chocolate actually cools very fast, so make sure to add the sprinkles sooner rather than later. So when you're done decorating the cake pop, you can stick them in a styrofoam block. In this case, I actually have a cake pop stand, and I'm just letting them dry before I transfer them to a plate. Alright, so we are all done with making the cake pops. I think they turned out really great. They were pretty easy to make, and they're really fun because you can mix and match with colors and flavors, and you can decorate them however you want. So they're really fun. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I'm hoping to make more videos in the near future during this time of quarantine, but definitely stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. Thanks everyone!